Peace and Bliss YouTube. This is Tanya with Reclaiming Our Roots. Welcome back for another video, and today I am out in the garden preparing our garden for the upcoming spring summer season. So I want to give you all a quick glimpse. You can kind of see how things are dormant. Not much activity out here because I did not grow a winter garden. So I'm in the preparation stages of preparing and amending our soil. I purchased some compost and I have some Azomite that I will be adding to the soil along with some worm castings that we've included in the compost. And essentially what we're going to do, we're going to go by each pot. We're going to remove some of the topsoil here with the wood chips, and we're going to replenish it with revitalized soil. Every growing season you want to replenish, revitalize your soil, because after every growing season the plants extract all of the nutrients from the soil, so you need to replenish. So that's what we'll be doing today, removing the topsoil along with the wood chips, sprinkling some on each top, topping the pots to about maybe to about up here, and then we'll mix it in really well. You don't want to disturb the soil too much. You don't want to upset the ecosystem that lies below. You just want to work it in. So I will bring you all back when I start that process. But that's what we're up to today. I am excited. I have been in heavy planning mode for the spring. I am looking forward to gardening this year. Really learned a lot from last gardening season. I realized that I grew a lot of everything last year, but not a whole lot of anything, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be more strategic in my planning this year in our gardening practice, and hopefully we reap the benefit of a lot of everything. So I will bring you all back when I start the amending process. See you in the next video. Okay, I'm back at the wheelbarrow where my eldest son is helping me, and what he's doing is just mixing in the Azomite into the compost. I added some worm castings to the mixture, and what he's going to do is just work it in, and we're going to top the pots, and then we're going to cover them back with wood chippings. You always, especially if you're a container gardener, you definitely want to have some sort of blanket to protect the soil so it doesn't dry out, so it can help retain moisture, especially when you're growing in containers, because it has 360 degrees. These pots, they heat up and they evaporate moisture very quickly. So you want to retain as much moisture as you can. That won't be the issue now because we're in the dead of winter. But it's just some food for thought when you're gardening in the spring. So yeah, guys, I'm so excited. We have some new crops that we'll be adding to our garden this year. I cannot wait. I will bring you along. Probably in the next video I'll share with you the new addition to our garden. It won't be a whole lot outside of, you know, the usual tomatoes, peppers, and things like that, and squash, and all of our herbs. But there are some additions that we will be trying this year that I'm excited. If you haven't already started, start to think about what you're going to grow this spring. Start to prepare for your spring garden. Our last frost date is April 18th, and I start our seeds 8 weeks prior to our first frost, our last frost date. So I'll be starting seeds February 18th for our spring summer garden. And for my spring stuff, I'll be bringing those out in May. And for all of my hot crops, I generally won't bring those out until about mid-May. I learned last year the hard way. I brought them out prematurely. Our frost date lingered a lot longer than we anticipated, but nature had her own plans. So you just have to follow the dictates of nature. So I'm going to wait this year. There's no rush. So, but yep, I'm just excited. If you haven't already ordered your seed catalog, it's something that you want to do now. Start to plan, factor when your last frost date is in your area, And start your seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before. You want to get a head start on the growing. So, a couple of seed catalogs that I do recommend that are my absolute favorite. Baker Creek is my absolute favorite, but I've also purchased seeds from Seed Saver Exchange. I've purchased seeds from Johnny Seeds, and also Eden Brothers. Those are like my top. Those are my top 4, guys. So start to think about. Got a little excited there. Carry on. There's a lot going on in the world, and we don't need to go into all of that. But even if there wasn't anything going on to the world, you owe it to yourself to grow your own food. Be responsible for what you put in your mouth. You know, be self-sufficient. Do as much for yourself as it relates to growing as possible. It's nothing more than a tomato plant, a pepper plant. Grow what you eat. Don't be out here growing things because you see other homesteaders and YouTubers growing it. If you don't eat turnips, don't grow turnips. But if your family loves peppers and onions and tomatoes, grow those things. Just start small. I recommend starting with at least 3 to 5 crops. Start there. Something easy. Tomatoes are easy to grow. They can be a learning curve because you have indeterminate tomatoes and determinate varieties. And you just learn about those things. But grow what you like to eat. But it's a rewarding experience that you definitely will be happy with, your family will be happy with. I'm doing the best that I can with the space that I'm in for now. Stay tuned, things will be changing on that front as well. So I'll be back in the next video when we start to top our pots. Be some bliss. Okay, we're back and we're at pot number 1. We have a total of 53 pots that we have to fill and top with compost. And as I mentioned earlier, I added some Azomite to the mix, which is high in trace minerals. I have the micronized powder form, which is loaded with trace minerals that plants need to thrive. So I mixed that in a wheelbarrow along with some worm castings. I added that to the compost. So what we're going to do is start to top this pot. Top this pot here. We're going to just fill it up. It's hard to do this with one hand. Let me get my cameraman to help me fill that up there. And we're going to top it, this top line here. And we're going to cover it with some wood chips. And if you're not container gardening, this is a process that you do whether you're growing in the field or you're growing in raised beds. You're just adding new amendments to your soil. And then we're going to let it rest until the spring when we'll bring out our transplants. This is something that I should have did earlier, guys, but like I said, life happened. I lost my mother-in-law, so we're all adjusting to that, which has been very difficult. So we are in the process of rebounding from that. So I didn't get to do a lot of what I had planned in the garden, which was have a winter garden. So I didn't do that last year. So we're just kind of back in the swing of things, getting things to where they need to be, things back on track. So, what we're going to do is just smooth this out and break up any clumps that we have in there. And if you noticed, when we added the soil, I did not disturb the existing soil. I just mixed around just a little bit, removing the top, like removing the wood chips and the leaves and things like that. But you don't want to disturb your existing soil too much. You don't want to upset that ecosystem that's thriving down there. What I do is just let this break down until we're ready to come out and start gardening in a couple of months. So what I'm going to do is just add some wood chips to the top, some leaves, Help keep in the moisture and just spread that about. I'm like some from over here. Just work that on the top there. Actually, I need to go to the store and buy. I thought I had some wood chips. I'm just gonna have to make a quick run to our local Lowe's or Home Depot and pick up some wood chips. And all I'm gonna do is just add it to the top, pat it down, and let it sit undisturbed until I'm ready to bring in our transplants. So 1 pot down and 52 more to go. So yeah, that's what it's looking like out here. Yeah, everything is just stagnant for now. But yeah, I have some new additions. I have something really big and special. I can't wait to share with you all later in due time. What we're going to be doing to the garden this year. Some things that we're going to be growing. Just all excited, guys. Just all excited. So I won't bring you along for all 350 pots. I will bring you all back after we have topped each pot with new soil and covered it with mulch or leaves, in some cases straw. I do have a bale of straw in the back that my husband uses in the yard, but I don't know if that's been treated with chemicals, so I don't want to risk it and put it in our pots. I do not want it to leach into the soil. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be back with another video once everything is done, and I will give you all a quick look-see at how things look. Peace and bliss. Okay, I am back, and I know for a fact that I'm going to make this a 2-part video. It is freezing out here. The temperature has dropped and the wind has picked up immensely, and we have not finished topping all of the pots for today, but we are done for today. So this is what we've accomplished. Pardon my sniffling, because like I said, the temperature has dropped out here and it is freezing, and you'll probably hear the wind come through here in a moment. It is cold and windy, but this is what it looks like on the side. Looking good. So all of these pots have been topped with new soil that includes Amending along with some worm castings. And for those that want to know, Amending is rock dust, and I get the powdered or the mineral. No, I forgot what is it? Let me check. The micronized version. There we go. Which is a very powdery texture. So, but it looks pretty good. Thanks to my eldest son, we were out here putting in work, and we are preparing for the spring garden. And I decided, guys, to go ahead and implant some of the implants that I had from the fall that I never got around to installing. And this is Cabbage Ruby Perfection. So I implanted those while I was out there. But yeah, so we are getting there. So one side down for the most part, and we still have one side to go. So we completed all of this side. So I'm working with this one, did this one here, and we just kind of puttered out from here. But that's what we'll be doing in the next video. We will finish topping our pots with amended soil, and I need to remove the tomato sticks and take the cages back in and top these pots. So yeah, full speed ahead. Spring garden 2021 coming right at you. So all right, well, that concludes this video. I will be back in the next video with a clean appearance out here, as you can see. a little disheveled from all the hard work out here, but I'll be back and we'll have all our pots filled and amended for our spring 21 garden. Stay tuned, and also welcome new subscribers. If you found any value in this video, please share it, like it, comment. I love engaging with you all. I love the questions and the comments. It has been really nice being out here on YouTube, growing a community. And a lot of us have decided to take up gardening last year. So I'm just sharing the little that I'm learning and have learned over the years in growing out of containers. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free. Drop me a line and I will get back to you. Until the next video, peace and bliss.